Ricebox is undergoing a really big change. We're going to be switching manifolds again and switching turbo setups completely. I know a lot of you guys are really interested in this setup, and I know it does look good, and it is definitely different from a traditional setup. It is just not something that I am interested in keeping for any longer. I am not going to utilize this setup at all for what its designed purpose was. And at this point, I just think it is a lot better to send it to somebody else who will be using it for its intended purpose. So I do have another manifold on the way. It will be a little bit different. It's not going to be a traditional type of manifold, I suppose. It's going to be cooler than a regular one, but it's going to set the turbo still in the engine bay. Definitely going to be different than this one, but it will put the turbo probably right here. It'll be better in my opinion. And I'll be able to run a full exhaust. So my plan is to run a full 4-inch aluminum exhaust all the way back. So full 4-inch aluminum straight pipe. I'm honestly really excited to do something like that. I'm putting this car back to full street car, and I just this is way too much, and obviously. It doesn't, you know, it's got some lag and stuff, and it's just not for me anymore. So, sorry for those of you guys that really like the setup, but we are switching back to a top mount manifold. It's going to be equally as cool. I'm going to finish taking this manifold off so I can just have it ready to get boxed up and shipped. And yeah, hopefully everything just comes out well. Well, she looks pretty naked. Look how big my turbo is. That thing is literally so big. Sometimes it doesn't look like it's all that large, but like it is huge. There she is. Oh, that thing is beautiful. Oh, Ryan, if you're watching this, I just want to say thank you for all the support and everything that you showed me with all these things. I guess I'm still rocking your engine mounts. Ryan's solid mounts are literally king, and rocking his front mount intercoolers. He built this thing for me, as well as the engine mounts, so those things are freaking sweet. Makes the car really feel solid. As for my manifold, you literally are amazing for like going out of your way to make this for me. So freaking awesome. The manifold on the 240 is officially gone, guys. Hopefully you guys will not hate me so much. Go. Here it is. Oh man, look at that. Alright guys, like I said, we're going to keep it the same, but we're going to do a little bit more. Alright guys, so since I do have to notch my frame a little bit, I guess that's what we're going to do. I have to pull this engine out regardless through the winter. Since it already snowed outside, the roads have already been salted, we will not be taking the cars out till first rain at the beginning of spring. So once first rain happens, takes a bunch of the salt off the road, we will then start taking the cars out. But until then, we are going to be stuck in the shop. And today is actually a pretty nice day. I blatantly cut off yesterday whenever I tried to put this on because it's a little bit chilly. It was a little bit late actually, and I was not trying to get into the process of this. But now it's about 60 degrees outside, so thankfully it's actually starting to get much nicer. And now I am going to start to modify this. So what my plan is to figure out right where it's hitting, and I'm going to cut it in a way that I can structurally support it later. I'm going to cut it, so say it hits here, I'm going to cut it, I'm going to slice it here and here to the bottom, but I'm not going to take out the bottom half. I'm just going to cut out basically a little angle iron section of it, and then whenever I get the engine out, I will put a flat steel in there and I will support weld it, and then I will get some flat steel triangles to weld here too. So I will support it in more in a different way, but I want to be able to keep it there so that way I can actually put the manifold on and then remove it by hand, or put it on and take it off with the engine in there. I don't want to have to put it on because I'm pretty certain that it probably would fit if I put it on the head first before I put it in the car. So with that being said, we're going to modify stuff before we pull the engine out, just so that way we have a better understanding of where I have to cut. So that way I can modify later. God, this is a beautiful piece here. Okay, so it looks like it's hitting basically right here on this runner. It's hitting just basically right where the cut is on my strut tower. So it's not hitting very hard, and I actually don't really think I have to cut it that deep, because if I get this to where it's seated basically up against the head, you can kind of see that it totally would clear if I was able to mount it to the head itself. So I'm gonna have to freaking do something with that. Also, I'm starting to get a little bit concerned about the alternator. That's a little bit concerning. I might have to wrap the manifold. We're gonna have to see here in a moment. So once I get the manifold on there, then it'll be good. But dang, dude, that thing looks pretty sick. I really hope that there's enough room for a freaking turbo there. Golly, that's gonna put it like right behind the headlight. Oh man, my turbo is just gonna move just a little bit. We are not gonna be using that guy though. We're switching to a smaller turbo. But we're going to mount it on there anyways, just to see. We will be doing that shortly. I'm gonna modify this real quick. I'm not gonna be able to show you guys, but we will get there. Alright guys, so it's on there now. You guys can kind of see, I didn't have to cut that much, but that was enough that I had to cut to make it work. So I actually cut a lot less. So basically all I'm gonna do is, what I cut out, I'm going to redesign something that is inward to fill this in. So I'm gonna leave a little dimple there, but I'm gonna fill it in. I'm gonna put a piece of metal there and weld it in when I pull the engine out. Then I also had to cut the end of the stud off. So right here, there's these little dimples on the end here. You can put a little socket on to get them out of the head. I had to cut that off in order to clear that. But the manifold is on the head now. And now I'm going to mount my turbo on there, just so we can kind of get a feel of what it's gonna be like to have a turbo in that position, because that does look pretty cool. Alright guys, so, oh my god, this really puts into perspective how big the turbo was that I have been running. So like, it really almost doesn't look that big whenever it was under the headlight, like, because like, just in comparison to everything else, it didn't seem that big to me. But look at the size of this thing in the engine bay. It is so freaking, the freaking cam gear could fit inside that thing. Oh my god. Bro, this is sick. So, as you guys can see, my idea for running a full exhaust is completely realized with this. Like, it is just a straight down. Like, I can almost, like, yeah, this is gonna be easy. Freaking easy. Golly, that thing is huge. Look, I don't even have to run that big of a pipe. Just a really small one, actually. A real small Damn! That is a massive in the bay. Holy crap! That is crazy, man. Man, look at that. That's dumb. The turbo, man. Dude, I never thought I'd be so hyped to put it back in the freaking engine bay, but oh my god, it's so massive. Look, it's almost the same size as this one from this distance. They're like 10 foot apart. They're almost the same size, relatively. Look at that. And so it's like that big. It is, I mean, not really relatively, but. So for those of you guys wanting to know who built this manifold, Sean Totten did. So Totten Welding and Fabrication. He does not have that many followers. So if you guys really like the way this manifold looks, and it is literally a work of art. This thing is beautiful, and it's going to fit nicely in the world of Ricebox and Rabid JZ, because he does fantastic work. I'm probably going to talk to him about getting a manifold for the Supra, because I want something quality like this in the Supra. So if you guys are interested in getting a manifold from him, you guys can go hit him up at Totten Welding and Fabrication on Facebook, and let him know that I sent you, Rabid JZ sent you, And yeah, he is great turnaround time, and he is very, very good with communication. So something I really, really like is communication from people. I do not want to sit around waiting and not be talked to, and you know, take 5 days for a response. So he is A+ in that, and he's A+ in quality, and he's A+ in turnaround time. 100%. I recommend him 100%. So he's got jigs and everything for manifolds. So if you guys have a manifold type that you want, you can have. There's tons of different ones that he builds. So make sure you guys go hit him up, let him know I sent you, and yeah, drop a like on this video. There's no turning back now. The guy who has my manifold is also, he's putting it on his drag 240. We are switching everything up. I apologize if you guys were wanting to see a lot more drag racing and stuff. I will continue roll racing and street racing and stuff like that, just racing randoms on the freaking highway. But I do not want to waste my life working on these things to freaking push them every single week to try to get them to the track. That was so stressful last year. I'm hopefully you guys will just continue to follow me for me, and not because of one thing in particular. So we are going to continue going in this direction. I will be ordering a new turbo. I got a guy who cuts me fantastic deals on the Pulsar turbos. So if you guys are interested in a Pulsar turbo, I'm also selling this one. If you guys want this one, just let me know. You guys can send me a DM on Instagram at the Rabid JZ, and we can talk about this. So you guys can get this turbo that came off of my car. It's still great and everything, but obviously switching up. So it's gonna be a little bit of a short video, but I could not wait. I wanted to get this out. I want to be able to show you guys what's happening, and I mean, I am freaking hyped. That is so sick, so freaking sick. So now that we got this modified, I can now pull the engine out of the bay. But before we do that, I am going to get this one done first. I gotta get this one done for the Supra, so I can have some room to work, because this one is going to be very meticulous, okay? Obviously, aluminum rod engine and everything. I need to go through and redo some stuff and go slower with the job, because last time I threw this, I built this thing in about 4 hours so I can have it ready for David Patterson, and then I ended up having fuel issues. So it hasn't freaking missed a beat since then, aside from the fuel issues, but yeah, we're gonna get there, guys. We're gonna get there. But that's gonna be it for this video. Make sure you guys drop a freaking like, and I will catch you guys later.